there! Welcome back to my channel. You may call me Miss Introvert, and today we're going to go over some editing methods that will make your editing process as a writer much more fun. I've been using these processes and it's definitely helped me get less bored when it comes to editing. And we all know that editing is a very tedious process and nobody wants to do it, but hopefully this makes it just a bit more entertaining. You might be one of those people who loves the nitty-gritty work of editing, and I am one of those people as well, so I get you. But if you are one of those people who doesn't really care for it, then I hope this video benefits you a lot. You got this, writers. Before we begin, like this video and share it with your friends and fellow writers to help grow our introverted writing community. If you like the content on this channel, make sure you subscribe and become part of the introverted writing community. On this channel, I like to cover tips for beginning writers every Tuesday, and I'll occasionally have a couple videos for students who are in school, mostly pertaining to writing. And I'll also have some introvert and fangirl rants, which you can take part in the comments section, which is not really full of crickets anymore, which is nice. Now, without further ado, let's begin. Number 1, do the voices. So this is a method that I use when writing fictional books that involve dialogue. One of the ways that I like making my editing process more entertaining for me is by giving my characters voices. I am a bit of an aspiring voice actor, so this definitely satisfies that passion of mine. Maybe you like voice acting too, and even if you don't, switching from character to character or from character to narrator or vice versa definitely helps make the process a bit more entertaining. Imagine your characters are finally in their Netflix TV show that you've been waiting for. What do they sound like? Or maybe you haven't been waiting for it. Personally, I would like to be holding the reins the entire time when it comes to a Netflix production of my books. Can't trust the directors. We've seen what they can do. There are some exceptions, but you get my point. But we're not talking about Netflix adaptations, we're talking about editing. Sometimes I'll be speaking in my character's voice and I'll find out something new about them that I can add to their character description to make them more authentic. So this method allows for new ideas, it allows for you to add more character descriptions, and maybe you found a way to relate to your character in some way. Maybe you thought of a new quirk for them, or maybe they have something in common with another character. If you don't like voice acting that much, or if you write with someone else in the room and you kind of feel a bit self-conscious, I've been there before, then either do it alone or just prioritize your time so you can do it if this method really helps you. Reading out loud also helps you catch a lot of errors as well. By reading silently, you can easily pass over different grammatical or syntax errors. But reading it aloud helps you to look at those errors and that reading more carefully as you say the words. There's also the option of having your computer speak for you, so you'll be able to hear the errors as they come. This is also a reliable technique that I use often, especially for papers. Either way, you're catching errors, making progress, and perfecting your voice acting. Or at least that's what I'm doing. You do you. Number 2, checklists. If you use journals or checklist apps or anything of that sort, you're gonna like this method. I love planning and crossing things off, so this definitely helps me. In terms of structural edits, there is a lot to do, especially when it comes to plot-based books. Sometimes you'll just have more ideas that you're gonna want to incorporate into previous chapters for the plot to make sense. But you're already writing this chapter and you're trying to stay focused. What I like to do is I like to keep a journal by my side while I'm writing. This way, if an idea comes or if I want to change the plot or twist it a bit, I can just write down the idea right there and it'll be waiting for me when I have to incorporate it into a previous chapter, or chapters, or books. It is always satisfying when certain plots come full circle. And it doesn't even have to be plot points. It can be a character trait that you think is better for your character, or it can be a change in location. Maybe you've made a change to your lore, or maybe even your symbolism. There are so many possibilities to keep track of, but checklists really help with this. Number 3, schedule your editing. Before I edit, I like to have a schedule in mind. That way I know when I'm editing and what I'm editing and all that good stuff. I also usually make it on paper or somewhere that I can see. Some writers like to write a chapter and then edit the chapter they just wrote, or they write the entire book and then edit it after structurally. Whatever works for you, works for you. Either way, editing is an essential part of writing your book. Before someone else looks at it, like an actual editor, It needs to be able to be read before they can give points of their own. I'm glad I looked over the writing in my books because there are things that didn't even make sense to me.
And I'm the one who wrote it.
Anyway, getting back on track, you're going to want to organize your writing schedule so that it's tailored to your lifestyle and your preferences. Maybe you have a deadline set with the publisher and you're going to want to get the editing done as you write. Just remember to give yourself room to be as authentic as possible and write whatever you want, and not always worrying where commas go. For now, this is just you and your writing. You can always edit later. Editing is a great process, and it's definitely beneficial, but it can also distract you from your own methods of writing. So just make sure that you're writing, but also keeping a balance of editing, just like a balance of both. If you're writing for fun, then it's up to you. Some writers, like me, go over their book several times, sometimes more, before they give it to an editor, with developmental or structural edits, copy edits to make it easier to read, and then proofreading for syntax and grammatical errors. Editors will cover this step because it's their job, but you're the one who wants to make sure that your book makes sense and is readable, because you're the one who wrote it and no one knows your book better than you. And those are just some of the ways you can edit your book effectively, and ways that it's not a terribly boring process. So it's a bit fun. Comment down below if you have any editing strategies that are bearable for you. Do you like editing? Do you not like it? Let us know in the comments. I hope this helped anyone who is looking for some advice on writing, and this is just my take on the subject. There are plenty of other ways to look at this concept, and you can modify my advice however you'd like. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like and share this video to help grow our introverted writing community. Well, that's all for now, folks. Hope you enjoyed the video. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, check out my blog, and find the writing help you need on my Fiverr account. All the links will be in the description below. And stay basic. Okay, bye!